Huawei Cloud is your choice for innovation. Hello everyone, go cloud, go global. Welcome to the Huawei Cloud Asia Pacific Internet Industry Summit, jointly hosted by Huawei Cloud and Beluga Global to discuss going global in a new era, resources and technologies, and new ecosystem. I'm your host Huang Jing. With the emergence of the 4G era, the development speed of China mobile internet is leading the world. New giants have emerged in multiple industries, such as shared mobility and streaming media, and the technical lead also lets Chinese companies have the advantage of time in the global dimension to go global and to take the lead in the overseas market. In the 5G era, China mobile internet continues to develop rapidly. As new opportunities emerge in China, the technology upgrade brings new opportunities globally. Even the application of new technologies in a certain product may produce the butterfly effect to reshape the industry landscape. We're offering technology and service to the whole world. Zheng Yelai, president of Huawei Cloud Business, once emphasized in an interview that Huawei Cloud was born to be a global cloud platform because every service of Huawei is global at birth. After 30 years of development, Huawei's business has spread to many countries and regions around the world, and half of the revenue of the 2B business comes from overseas. Under the impact of the pandemic and technology upgrade, this summit will be remotely connected to Huawei's rep offices in more than 10 countries. The summit will be the first stop for Chinese internet companies in the Asia Pacific region to go global. We will also discuss the global market status in the 5G era under the pandemic. What new opportunities will there be? This summit is full of interesting topics and surprises. Later, Huawei Cloud and Beluga Global will jointly release the 2020 white paper for Chinese internet companies going global. We're honored to invite companies such as Sherrit, NetEase, and Grandview Capital to talk about their experience. Huawei Cloud is also working with Huawei's carrier, enterprise, and device teams to share its a new ecosystem. We'll share the topics related to global market from the perspectives of market trends, technological innovation, and ecosystem services. We have also provided you with a variety of surprise gifts, including Huawei Smart Scale, Huawei GT2 watch, and Huawei P40 mobile phone. After each module, we will have a round of lucky draw. You only need to fill in the questionnaire in a live broadcast room to be qualified for the lucky draw. We'll have the live comment prize dropped. Please contact our customer service to leave your address. Mobile phones, watches, and other good gifts to carry home. The more as we move on, the more gifts you'll have. Don't go away. Then our summit will officially begin. We'll enter the first module, Go Global in a New Era. In this new era, how can companies achieve efficient development with the help of large-scale platforms and experience? Huawei Cloud may be able to give us an answer. In addition to technical advantages, Huawei Cloud brings more than 20 years of experience, platforms, and ecosystems to our internet companies in China. First, let's invite Mr. Mark Chen, Director of the Huawei Cloud International Business Department. He has nearly 15 years of experience in the ICT industry, has a deep understanding of cloud computing, and has rich experience in the global market. Let's welcome Mr. Chen to share with us how Huawei Cloud can help Chinese companies to go global. Next, I would like to invite Mr. Chen to join us at Huawei HQ in Shenzhen. Ladies and gentlemen and friends, welcome to the live broadcast of Huawei Cloud Online Summit. Today, I'm very happy to deliver a keynote speech on Huawei Cloud going global in Shenzhen with old and new friends from around the world. In the 4G era, China's internet industry has developed rapidly and many excellent Chinese internet companies have emerged, which has started the process of globalization. The 5G era is coming. Thanks to the rapid construction of 5G networks in China, the internet will further develop. Internet companies in China will emerge with innovative scenarios and build more leading technical advantages. More and more internet companies will go global from China. Huawei Cloud combines the advantages of cloud, 5G, and AI to help Chinese internet companies go global. First of all, I would like to share with you my insights into the overseas internet market. First, we can see three numbers on the right. In Southeast Asia, the total number of internet users is 480 million. In Middle East and North Africa, that number is 300 80 million. In Latin America, that number is 450 million. As we can see, with the construction of global 4G networks and the rapid popularization of smartphones, the user penetration rate of the internet is increasing rapidly. This brings huge user groups and huge market space for internet services. So let's look at a bar chart. Looking at the Chinese internet application going global, we can see that the most is still games. The second is the developer applications, and the third one is video application and various mobile phone applications. From this distribution, we can see that the applications are diversified. That is to say, all kinds of internet companies have a huge window of opportunity to go global. Though we have very big market opportunity, there are still challenges for internet companies to go global. We sum up three challenges. First, technical challenges are high. Where are they? When deploying internet services, we need to consider the areas covered by our services. Coverage should be high. This is the first point. Second, users have high requirements on user experience, including service stability, latency, and timely response, as well as timely O&M support. So this is the first technical challenge that we talk about. Second, the operation cost is high. The high operation cost is reflected in two aspects. The first one is the high operation cost of service deployment. The second is about the high cost of customer acquisition. We also know that when Chinese companies go overseas, local market, the high operation cost is reflected in two aspects. The first one is the high operation cost of service deployment. The second is about the high cost of customer acquisition. We also know that when Chinese companies go overseas, local market compliance requirements and local business environment are also challenges that we will face. The details are as follows. The development of our own business needs the support of local ecosystem partners. Second, we must ensure local security and compliance. Now, let's see how Huawei Cloud helps Chinese internet companies address these challenges. I've summed up these four numbers, which are called 4, 3, 2, and 1. It should be easy to remember. 4 represents the 4 technical advantages of Huawei Cloud. 3 is our 3 regions of strength. And 2 is 2 support programs. And 1 is 1 common goal. Let's talk about what 4 is. The first one is about ultimate performance. Why can Huawei Cloud provide ultimate performance for internet companies? There are 3 main points. First, we have full stack capabilities of software and hardware. We can improve the performance of software and hardware based on innovations of chips and combination of software and hardware. This is the first point. Second, we all know that more and more internet companies are using big data and AI technologies. The AI computing capability of the Ascent chip can maximize the AI computing power. Third, we also know that the internet focuses on the ultimate elastic scaling based on the container technology. Huawei Cloud can create 1,300 VMs in batches within 10 minutes, which is the ultimate performance. When we are doing internet services, our user experience is very important. In the case of ultra high-speed networks, we focus on 3 support areas. The first one is a 100 millisecond latency circle. Based on the global layout of Huawei Cloud Process and IT, we can achieve 7 100 millisecond latency circles, cover all our major countries and regions. The second is hardware-based forwarding on the internal network. The forwarding performance can reach 15 million packets. The third is that all regions achieve high-speed international interconnection, having global access. When internet uses cloud computing is an important production cost. We have proposed many innovation solutions to reduce costs and improve efficiency. big data-oriented storage computing separation can reduce the storage cost of big data by 30%. Container service based on bare metal servers can use the computing capability to the maximum extent and reduce the consumption of virtualization. 3. We have launched an internet-oriented VM called C6S. C6S can provide the best price-performance ratio in the industry. Huawei Cloud is committed to providing secure and reliable cloud services for customers. We have obtained 15 global certifications, including 50 authoritative certifications and 1,000 security rules. As I mentioned earlier, Huawei Cloud has three regions of strength. The first is in the Asia Pacific region. In Southeast Asia, Huawei Cloud has built three data centers in Hong Kong, Singapore, and Thailand. In Singapore, we have four available zones in a country which can provide more reliable cloud services for customers. The same is true for Hong Kong. We provide 3AZ services. In Thailand, we have local nodes, and we have completed a comprehensive coverage of the entire Southeast Asia market with Hong Kong, Singapore, and Thailand data centers. The second is our Latin American region. In Latin America, we are the only cloud vendor that can cover 5 countries. As we all know, network interconnection between countries in Latin America is a great challenge. We know that if we only build nodes in Brazil, it will be difficult to cover Chile, Mexico, and other countries. Huawei Cloud is the only cloud vendor in the world that has built 5 national nodes in Latin America. It can provide the best regional coverage in Latin America. The third region is Africa. Huawei Cloud is the first cloud vendor in the world that has opened cloud service nodes in South Africa, covering Africa. We hope that all internet companies in China can consider Huawei's advantage in these three regions. If you need to deploy services in these regions, Huawei Cloud is your choice. Next, let's talk about the two major support programs. We all know that all internet businesses will involve a lot of expenses. On one hand, it is the cost of using cloud computing resources. On the other hand, it is the cost of advertising. Third is the cost of developing local channels and promoting services. Our two big support plans hope to help Chinese internet companies solve the high cost challenge. The first is HMS plan. You can remember several numbers. Huawei Cloud will provide $100 million to fund all internet companies in HMS plan. And there are 3 parts. The first part is called Development Fund. We will provide a development fund for you to do free development and testing. The second is called Migration Fund, which will offer free migration periods if your business was previously deployed offline or on other clouds. For the third fund, we'll offer some commercial subsidies to reduce the cost of using Huawei public cloud for internet companies. So this is the HMS ecosystem support plan. As we all know, Huawei has built excellent networks and strategic partnerships with global carriers. Carriers have mobile traffic and mobile users. So we hope that we can help internet companies to form partnerships with local carriers. And on the other hand, on the one hand, we introduce more content for local operators to increase their mobile traffic. On the other hand, we also hope that internet companies can develop better services through carriers' channels. So this plan is called the Brilliance Plan, which is to connect global carriers to help Chinese internet companies develop their businesses at a high speed. Finally, let's talk about a common goal. As a Chinese company, Huawei Cloud hopes to to join hands with many Chinese internet companies to go global. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chen, for your wonderful sharing. We believe that with the cloud, AI, and 5G engines, Chinese internet companies will go global with technical innovations and pride and continue to grow. Capital companies have been observing the rapid changes under the pandemic. Today, we're also honored to have Mr. Wei, the founding partner of Grandview Capital, to share with us how to go from China to the world and to share the latest global trends. Mr. Wei has 17 years of experience in China's internet industry, has worked for many famous companies, has been the general manager of Cheetah Mobile Investment and the head of investment in Shengda Innovation Institute. Let's welcome Mr. Wei Haijun, Grandview Capital, to share his experience in going global. Please. Hello, everyone. I'm Wei Haijun from Grandview Capital. I'm from China, and I'm glad to be invited by Huawei Cloud to share with you the theme of Embrace the World while staying deeply rooted in China. So today's theme is Go global in a new era, resources and technologies and new ecosystem. Grandview Capital has been one of the first funds to invest in the global market since 2016. We have accumulated many cases in the past few years. We have also been working in the front line. I want to share we have observed a huge change in the ecosystem, and the complexity of the ecosystem has increased. I'll focus on this later. Third, we have observed the rise of Chinese companies in the global market. Great changes in the ecosystem, increased complexity in three specific aspects. First, we've seen changes in the engine of consumer supply. In the past, we were very dependent on the West, but from the end of last year to this year, there has been a huge shift from the West to the East, and the supply engine of consumption has changed greatly. Second, due to the pandemic, we have seen the merge of live broadcasts, online and offline services. The internet has penetrated into all industries. This process is accelerating. The emergence of new technologies such as 5G has led to the penetration of new internet technologies into various industries. This is a very big trend. The third thing we're seeing is the rise of Chinese companies going global. Some Chinese companies have taken the lead, whether it is Huawei or ByteDance. A new ecosystem is emerging. It makes us very happy. This is the current situation of going global. Now I'm going to talk about some of our own work. I name it deeply cultivate and closely plant. Grandview Capital have invested in nearly 40 enterprises, also observe their status during the pandemic. Some of them are very good, but some of them also encountered a lot of difficulties. Where there has not been a full recovery, so we'll look at our investments. We believe that in all the great risks, we have great opportunities, and in all the uncertainties, we have great opportunities. So we can go through the numbers. I think if I were to go back and review it, I would look back at a few areas. The first area is internet products. What changes have taken place in internet products? Let's take a look. The pandemic has actually changed the behavior of many people and has led to some products that are truly technological and that address the core needs of users. So it is a rising number. For example, Newsbreak, which has attracted people's attention due to Mr. Shen Xiangyang. The former Microsoft Mr. Shen Xiangyang became the chairman of Newsbreak. But what really attracted Mr. Shen's attention was the growth of Newsbreak's data. it has been growing at a high rate during the pandemic, and in fact, before the outbreak. So back then, it was already ready to become a quasi-unicorn. Let's take a look at another one, Just Talk, a not very popular product that provides video and voice communications. Just Talk was used in more than 200 countries in the past, but its daily activeness was not high. During the pandemic, because everyone is staying at home, its user base, especially in Europe, has been growing very fast. Its global ranking is rising. It is of the internet. It's still products. As long as there are products that can meet the core needs of the users, there are huge opportunities. So that's number one. And secondly, we saw after this year's Spring Festival, everyone working at home became a very mainstream thing. We're familiar with the three major office softwares, Feishu, DingTalk, and Enterprise WeChat. And I believe that Huawei Cloud has its own series of services. And I saw Huawei Cloud has been very active throughout the pandemic. So it's very admirable. Let's look at a case of our own. We have a company called Master Menu. This is our investment in the US. During the pandemic, we found that although its offline restaurants were affected, it promptly launched the online order function, allowing users at home to order things and food online. So it has a very strong data growth, and it was a great surprise to us. The surprise is not only that its data is growing, but that it is actually providing core services to these users during the pandemic, like so many other Chinese companies that I am particularly proud of. And we also have a company 2B field, SaaS field, and other fields. There will be internet intelligent companies that can really satisfy the user's requirements. There are plenty of opportunities for Chinese companies in this area. Why? This year during the pandemic, I had a such project. Most of the application scenarios that we just talk about are in Europe and in America and those developed countries that we are familiar with. What about India and Indonesia? There's still a chance. We have observed that businesses with Chinese characteristics and the customers they serve are small and micro customers. So I think there are opportunities for such companies. Everyone knows that China is a big gaming market, and our film industry is also rising. That I think in future, Chinese content will have a big rise in the global market, which will be represented by games. We have some cases to share with you. Last year, Arkiro had a very large number of users around the world. In fact, Arkiro is just one of many such companies in China. And in fact, Chinese gaming companies such as Lilisi and Jimin Xintong and so on have developed their products very well overseas. And we've observed a lot of companies going global, launching their own gaming services last year in 2019 and in early 2020, offering very thoughtful services to a lot of home users. We also observed that no matter Kuaishou or Toutiao have all launched their own gaming platform. This is a very important trend, and I think content is a very important trend. So in addition to games, we have another company called Suyue. What does Suyue do? It provides the voice, copyright, It transforms the excellent Chinese literature or fiction into something that overseas users can listen to and then publish it around the world. It is a 2B company, and a lot of big companies are using it. I'd like to mention that we have some interesting companies in China, such as 智向网, and much of the information about India during the pandemic was conveyed, affected by various companies, by various factors due to the pandemic, and this is a matter that cannot be ignored. When Mr. Chen, CEO of eBank, came to me, I had a talk with him. I believe that in the long run, the Chinese brand that controls the core supply chain will rise globally. In fact, we do not need to look for further cases now. Instead, we can look at Huawei. The Chinese consumer electronics industry, represented by Huawei, is already in such a state. Second, we have seen many cross-border service companies perform very well. I'm going to brag about myself and tell you a few cases of Grandview Capital. Our Xinshang, Dianjiang, Hot Dog, Mopu, Wotu, Buffalo, and so on have all performed very well during the pandemic. For example, Buffalo transported masks to South Africa during the pandemic, helping many people. Cross-border logistics for Xinshang has been running, and masks are sent to many people in the US through Xinshang. Dianjiang offers many services to cross-border e-commerce companies. Cross-border logistics service is very popular, and that is why I'm optimistic about this field. So generally speaking, these are the four directions, and I don't have brand new ideas or views. I mainly share with you from these real cases. In the last part, I'd like to share with you our views on the industry ecosystem. Huawei has proposed the concept of a new ecosystem, which I particularly like. Then, in the process of going global, all Chinese companies are in need of giant companies. I've been to India and many other countries around the world. We can see that Chinese companies are being accepted by many countries around the world. Many consumers start to recognize the products from China. This is a very big point. The recognition of Chinese products and services by consumers around the world is due to the efforts made by many well-known and unknown companies in China. I think that's a very important point. I'm very grateful to Huawei Cloud for organizing this event. I hope that Huawei Cloud can play a very important role in the overseas market in future. We're glad to see that apart from Facebook and Google, the rapid rise of Chinese internet companies or tech companies can lead Chinese small and micro companies, startups, or even global startups to share the dividends of the internet. And this is a good point, I think. I also see that around going global, Grandview Capital also has a few layout. In the past development of Grandview Capital, we organized a lot of communication activities in the post-investment service area. We also hope to have more exchanges with you in future, such as our seminars, workshops, and many other activities. In addition, we have set up a business unit this year to accelerate the pace of going global. We will form a link between large companies like Huawei and entrepreneurs of the game. especially when we travel from a developing market to a global market, it is important to adhere to local market rules. In this regard, I think that we all agree that there should be a basic principle or general principle that I really care about. I call for all the enterprises that go global to keep the bottom line. What is the bottom line? Regardless of the country or cultural background of the user you serve, you must provide irreplaceable products or services for him. So this is the core point for long-term development, and this is the principle that I would like to emphasize. This is my view on the part of the new ecosystem. My colleague also asked what the final outcome of the going global companies will be like, especially lately we've seen some very exciting news. For example, the launch of Elon Musk's SpaceX. We all feel that in the field of entrepreneurship, this is very exciting. I feel that no matter what the future of mankind will be, we, Chinese entrepreneurs, must have the dream of making the world a better place, and we can go further. Thank you. Thank you very much, Mr. Wei. As Mr. Wei said, we will stay rooted in China, rely on Chinese wisdom, respond to the national call, and realize the Chinese dream. In such a changing and diverse world, Chinese enterprises need to think about how to leverage external forces to improve the efficiency of market expansion and overseas implementation. Compliance management experience has more than 10 years of overseas compliance management experience at Huawei, has also worked in Central Asia, Russia, Asia Pacific, and other regions and countries. Due to the pandemic, Mr. Xu could not come here because he is still in Malaysia. However, he has prepared excellent presentation for us. We'll remotely connect to him and he will deliver a keynote speech, Grow Your Business while ensuring regulatory compliance. And he will share Huawei's experience in operational compliance to help Chinese companies to enter the Asia Pacific market. Next, I would like to remind you again, after Mr. Xu's sharing, we'll start the first lucky draw. This round of prizes are 5 Huawei Smart Scales. You only need to fill in the questionnaire popped up during the live broadcast. You'll be able to participate. Let's see who will win the first round of prizes. Don't miss the opportunity. Take the time to fill in the questionnaire. I'll give the floor to Mr. Xu. Hello everyone, I am Xu Zhidong from Huawei in the Asia Pacific region. I'd like to say hello to you from Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. It is my great honor to have this opportunity to share with you Huawei's operational compliance. In 2000, Huawei started to expand its overseas business on a large scale. Up to now, Huawei has engaged in business activities in more than 170 countries. We have accumulated some operational compliance experience in our overseas business development over the past 20 years. Today, I'd like to share with you the topic of grow your business while ensuring regulatory compliance. First of all, I'd like to share with you 3 recent compliance cases which are related to anti-bribery and privacy protection. As we all know, anti-bribery and privacy protection have been hot topics in compliance in recent years and are also highly concerned by governments. In February 2020, Airbus reached an agreement with the law enforcement authorities of the UK, France, and the US in exchange for exemption from criminal prosecution with a record fine of 4% the relevant personnel from paying bribes to the executives of multiple airlines. The second case is the case of Ericsson in the communication industry where Huawei is in. On December 6, 2019, the US government fined Ericsson $1.06 billion US dollars for violating the FCPA in the past 17 years from 2000 to 2016. The third case is privacy protection. In July 2019, the Information Commissioner's Office issued a fine of $183 million pounds, or about 242 million US dollars against British Airways. The root cause is the data breach in September 2018. British Airways leaked the personal information of 500,000 passengers in this incident. If we look at these three cases, the lesson is painful. It is not difficult to draw two conclusions. First, these three companies, they're world famous. Even the world-renowned large companies have many flaws in compliance management. The fines in the three cases were staggering. And second, in recent years, compliance has been gradually tightened, and governments around the world are paying close attention to compliance. I've shared three cases with you. Now, let's look at the milestones of Huawei's compliance management. In fact, Huawei has paid close attention to operational compliance since it started to expand a milestone. That is, all subsidiaries deployed supervisory boards. The main responsibility of the supervisory board is to monitor the compliance control of subsidiaries worldwide. In 2018, Huawei appointed the group's chief compliance officer and established the compliance committee. In 2019, all subsidiaries around the world appointed compliance officers and set up trade secret protection committees. We shared three cases with you and Huawei's compliance milestones. Next, regulatory penalties and significant financial and reputational losses that may be incurred for failing to comply with legally binding requirements such as applicable laws and regulations, regulatory provisions, international treaties, and industry standards. Here, I like to emphasize that legally binding laws and regulations refer to not only the laws and regulations of the countries where we operate, but also conventions of international organizations, regulations, EU laws, US laws, and customer and supplier management regulations. Then you may ask, I do business in Asia Pacific. Why do I have to abide by EU and US laws? Physically, Chinese companies that go overseas may be doing business in the Asia Pacific country, but if your customers are from Europe, you have to comply with European privacy protection laws, GDPR. Regarding compliance with US laws, if you use the dollars as the currency for settlement, or even if you use the US cloud service, then the US can use its long-arm jurisdiction to govern your business activities. Therefore, I would like to stress again that doing business in the Asia Pacific region also needs to comply with US and EU laws. Next, let's look at how to cope with compliance risks. What is Huawei's basic concept of compliance management? There are risk-based compliance management, country-based compliance management, and business-based compliance management. Compliance management should focus on compliance risks, fully identifying and assessing compliance risks and different requirements of local countries, and implement compliance management based on the principle of one country, one policy. Here, I would like to give you two examples. For example, Ramadan has just ended, and the religious codes of many Muslim countries are actually one of the laws of the countries. Many countries have strict requirements on the proportion of foreign employees applying for working visa in their countries. For example, in many countries, the proportion of foreign employees to local part of the business. Compliance management must be closely related to business characteristics and substance. We talk about the basic concept of business compliance. Next, let's look at compliance risks. There are three types of compliance risks: governance risks, business risks, and operation risks. Governance risks refers to the company's qualifications, registration elements, and governance operations. In terms of registration elements, I would like to give you one example. For example, the company law in Malaysia has strict requirements. The company's board secretary must be a trained and qualified local Malay. If Chinese companies do business in Malaysia, we must pay attention to this point. Business risks include cybersecurity, privacy protection, and anti-bribery. In this context, I would like to emphasize EHS. Many people may not know what EHS is. It is short for Environment, Health Security. In fact, many countries have strict requirements on EHS. I myself have worked in Huawei, Australia. The Australian government has required all commercial organizations to set up a medical station at your workplace, such as Huawei, Australia, which also has the heart care device. So the Chinese companies going global should pay attention to this point. The next category is operational risk, including financial compliance, visa compliance, and labor compliance. For Chinese companies that are about to go global, I would like to remind you that visa compliance and labor compliance are the first compliance risks you face when you do business overseas. Next, I would like to remind you of the six major risks on the right. If they happen, they will have a very significant impact on the company's reputation. They are cybersecurity, privacy protection, anti-bribery, trade secret protection, trade compliance, and financial compliance. Huawei has determined that cybersecurity and privacy protection are the most important risks at the corporate level and are the top priorities of our company. In fact, Huawei has released and adopted a series of policies to ensure that employees comply with the six major regulations. After sharing with you the classification of compliance risks, now let's look at Huawei's compliance management responsibility system. Huawei's BOD is the highest authority responsible for compliance management and makes final decisions on compliance management. Actually, Huawei's compliance management responsibility system is divided into business lines and supervision lines. Business line, the group BOD appoints the global chief compliance officer, regional compliance officer, and country compliance officer. They enable all business departments to manage compliance professionally. The supervision line is the subsidiary director resource bureau under the group supervisory board. The subsidiary board directors resource bureau manages subsidiary supervisory boards worldwide. In the previous milestone, I said that the main responsibility of the global subsidiary supervisory oriented BOD is to supervise the legal and compliant operations of all subsidiaries around the world. If there is a problem, the BOD should rectify it in time. Now, let's look at Huawei's compliance management mechanism. The compliance management mechanism includes five elements: identify and assess risks, set goals, plan and take measures, check and audit, review and improve, culture and operate the compliance organization to ensure the effective operation of the compliance management mechanism. Finally, let's take a look at Huawei's compliance commitments. Huawei's commitments cover all Huawei businesses. Huawei commitment is that all businesses and subsidiaries must comply with local laws and regulations. In addition, every employee is required to comply with the business conduct guidelines. Huawei Group releases the employee business conduct guidelines every year, also and effective operations. Here, I'd like to propose three suggestions to all Chinese-funded enterprise going global. First, all Chinese-funded enterprises should have an in-depth insight into the business environment of the countries they operate. Compliance with laws and regulations is the basis for business operations, and compliance risk control is the guarantee for continuous business operations. Grow your business while ensuring regulatory compliance. I sincerely wish Chinese enterprises success from
感谢薛总
Malaysia.
带来的精彩分享。合规运
Thank you,
营
Mr.
是
Xu,
每
for
一
your
家
wonderful
出海的
sharing.
互联网企业
Compliant
必须
operation
训练
is a
基本
basic
功，
skill that
坚持
every
合作，能
internet
够保证我
company
们走
must
得更
improve.
远、更
A
远、
solid,
更
a
远。
solid
也
foundation
希望
can
在
ensure
华为
that
的
we
助
can
力
go
之下，
further
中
and
国
more
企业迈
stably.
向
I
亚
also
太市
hope
场
that
的
with the
步
help
伐
of
将
Huawei,
会稳步
Chinese
的提速。
companies will steadily
在第二个模块开始之
accelerate
前
their
呢，让我为大
pace
家
in
送
the
上
Asia
今天的
Pacific
第
market.
一轮的惊
Before
喜。
we
我
begin
们即
with
将
the
抽取
second
本场活
module,
动
we
的
will give
三个
you
赢
the
家。
first
在
round
此
of
要提醒一下
surprise
大家，
today.
您只需
We are
要填
going
写
to
我们直
draw
播
the
间
third
中弹出
prize.
的调
Please
查
note that
问
you
卷，
only need
就
to
可以获
fill
得我
in
们
the
的抽奖
questionnaire
资格了。
that pops up
接
in the
下来
live
有请我
broadcast
们
room
的后台
to
人
have
员
a
准备
chance to
开启
win. Next, we're going to ask our
奖。
backstage staff to
此时此
prepare
刻，
for the
我们的
lucky
中
draw.
奖名
At
单也
this
在陆
moment,
续的
the
产
list
生
of
当中，
winners is
观
being
看视频的您
generated.
呢，
You can
可以
check
在
whether
屏幕
you
当
have
中来
won the
查看自
prize
己
on the
是否
screen.
中奖。
After the
活动后，
event,
工作人
the
员将会
staff
联
will
系您，和
contact
进行
you to
询问。
send the gifts.
没有抽中的
Never
小伙
lose your
伴记得
heart
也
if
不
you
要
don't
灰
win.
心。
As we
随着
move
进
on,
行的
there will be
推移呢，
more
我们后面的
prizes.
奖品将会
Please
越
fill
来越
out
丰厚。
our
欢迎您
questionnaire
填
and
写我
get
们的调
qualified
查
for the
问卷，
lucky
获得
draw.
我
The
们
big
的抽奖
prize
资
is
格。稍
awaiting.
后的大。
매크로그래프는 2007년에 창립하여 12년 동안 다수의 영화, 드라마, 광고, 애니메이션 등을 제작해오고 있는 전문 포스트 프로덕션입니다. 그 외에 다수의 중국 대형 프로젝트 해오고 있고 몽키킹, 미이너, 메콩강 미션, 홍해신동 같은 작품들은 중국에서 높은 흥행을 한 작품들입니다.
회사 구성이라서 전부 3D로 만들어 구현을 했었고 목성과 지구가 가까워지면서 지구에 생기는 기후변화와 이상징후들이라든지 실제로 일어나지 않는 상황을 관객들에게 현실감 있게 느껴질 수 있게 하기 위해서 필요한 부분이 무엇인지 그 고민들을 VFX로 표현해 보기 위해서 복합적으로 노력을 했던 것 같습니다.
아무래도 렌더링이 계속 이루어지다 보면은 아티스트들은 그런 대기 시간이나 작업 시간이 길어질 수밖에 없었습니다. 그렇기 때문에 이번에 화웨이 클라우드에서 저희가 수많은 렌더팜을 확보할 수 있음으로써 화웨이 클라우드는 대규모의 자원을 소유하고 있고 네트워크 환경 역시 안전적입니다. 그리고 저희 매크로그래프에서 개발한 킹비 클라우드 렌더팜 서비스를 이용한다면 어떤 스튜디오라도 화웨이 클라우드를 원활하게 사용하실 수 있을 겁니다.
MG는 하웨이팜을 사용할 수 있는 상황이었고 내부팜으로 일주일 정도의 기간이 필요한 렌더들을 대수를 700~800대 정도의 팜을 사용을 해서 하루에 렌더를 진행할 수 있게끔 했던 기억이 있네요. 기간 내에 무사히 납품할 수 있었던 상황이 있었습니다.
클라우드 위에서 원격에서 일하기 위해서는 원격에서 타스크를 관리하고 사람을 관리하고 어세스를 매니지먼트하는 그런 많은 소프트웨어들이 개발되어야 합니다. 화웨이와 협력해서 그런 소프트웨어들을 굉장히 빠르고 안정적으로 개발을 해서 세계에서 가장 먼저 클라우드 위에서 100% VFX 일을 하는 그런 회사가 되도록 화웨이와 협력하도록 하겠습니다.
说到中国企业出海啊，
I
相信大
believe
家对
everyone
Shareit 是
has
有
heard
所
of
耳闻
share
的。
it.
在
In the
全
context
球
of
化趋势之下
globalization,
，Shareit
share
深
it
耕新兴市
deeply
场，
explores
基于人工
emerging
算法
markets
等
and
技术，
provides
为用户
precise
做
in the global market.
大家好，我是来自 Shareit 的余华
Okay,
毅。
thanks. Hello
今天
everyone. I'm Henry
跟
Yu
大家一起分
from
享
Shareit.
Shareit 如何
Today,
在
I'd like
全
to
球
share
领
with
先
you
过
the
18亿用户，
story of
以
how
及
Shareit
与华为
has
云
won
合作合作的
1.8
故事。
billion users
在
in the
下
past
面，
5
我
years,
们首先
and the
来看一
story
下
of
出海的
global
图。
cooperation with Huawei Cloud.
Shareit 提
Now
供
let's
的
take a look at
是
the
一
map.
站式的内
Shareit
容分发的
is
平台，
is
我
a
们全球
one-stop
累计用户
content
18亿，
distribution
在
platform.
Google
It
Play
has
下载次
1.8
日
billion
超
users
过10亿
worldwide
次。
and more than 1
在
billion
新兴市
downloads
场，我们
from
已经
Google
成为一
Play.
个国
We
民
have
应用，
become a
其中
popular
印度和印尼的
application
下载
in
量达
emerging
到了
markets.
6000。下面
India and
我们来
Indonesia
看
are
一组
far ahead of the
数据。
rest in terms of downloads. Now let's look at a
全
set of
球用
data.
户18亿，我们
The number
全
of
球的
global
月活用
users
户
is
6亿，
1.8 billion.
双亿市
We have
场的累
600
计用
million
户也已经超
monthly
过了6个亿。
active users
我们
worldwide. The
在
total number
全
of
球的5
users
个
in
办公
India
室，
and Indonesia
新
has
在中国
exceeded
区和
600
亚太
million.
区，
Five offices around the
其中
world
芝
are in
加哥是我
China
们的
and the
商务
Asia
中心，
Pacific region.
新德里和班
Singapore
加
is
罗
our
尔作
business
为我
center,
们的本地
and New
化业务
Delhi
中
and
心。
Bangalore
未
are
来
our
我们会有
localized
越来越多的
business
本地
centers
化
in
的业务
future.
中心，
With the
随着我们的
expansion
业
of
务
our
的扩
business,
张。
we will have more and more localized
接下
business
来我们
centers.
看几组榜单数
Now,
据。
let's look at
首先是
some of
Google
the
Play
rankings.
基于10
First,
年的数
Google
据
Play,
生成的全
based
球
on the
应用下
data
载榜
of 10 years,
，Shareit 取得了
generates
第9名
the
的好
global
成绩。
application download ranking
在
lists.
2020年第
Shareit
一季
ranks
度
number
全球
9.
APP 下
In
载
the
榜
first
排
quarter
名
of
中
2020,
，Shareit 取得了第
Shareit
8名的好成
ranked
绩。
8th in
印
the
度月
global
活
app
用户
download
榜
rankings.
第5名，
India ranks number 5 in
印
the
尼
monthly
月
active
活用户
user
榜
list,
第6
and
名。
Indonesia ranks
OK，看
number
了
6.
我们
Look
4
at
个榜单数据，我
The 4
疑问是
ranking
说，
numbers,
Share It 是
I
如何
believe
做
you
到
have a question. How did
现在的
Share
成
It
绩的呢？
achieve these
第一个，我们
results?
是通过技术手段
First,
将用户
we
面对面
use
互传内容的速
technologies
度提
to
高了
increase
200
the
倍。
speed of
但更重要的是什
face-to-face
么？
content transmission
是
by
我们为
200
用户
times.
提供
What's more
优质的
important,
在线内容
we
服务，
provide user
通
divided
过有
into
动
3
学习和
parts.
迁移
The
学
first
习，
part is to
让机
enable
器能够
machines
理解
to
我们的内容。
understand our content through
其次，
active learning
通
and
过人
transfer
机
learning.
回迁的
Second,
动态算法
personalized
来为用
content
户生成
is
千人千
generated
面
for
的个
users
性化内容。
using the dynamic
最
algorithm
后，
of
通过强化学
HITL.
习来进
Finally,
行内容分析，
content
不断
analysis
优
is
化用户的
performed
体验。
through
接
reinforcement
下来我们
learning
来
to
看一下
continuously
支撑
optimize user experience.
Share It 智
Now,
能配件
let's
式的
look
大
at
数据
the
架
big
构
data
是什么样子。
architecture that supports the Share It
我
intelligent
们的
recommendation
大数据
system.
架构主要跟
The big
云相
data
关的分为
architecture
4个部分。
consists
最
of
底
four
层是我
parts
们的
related to
云
the
原
cloud.
生的
The
计
bottom
算调
layer
度，
is the cloud
中
native
往上是我
computing
们的
and
基础格
scheduling.
存储，
The upper
再
layer is the
上面
data
是我
lake
们的大数据
storage, and on
service 服
top
务， 以
is
及
the
面
big
向
data
终端
service,
用户的
Jupyter Notebook
Jupyter
and
Notebook
Airflow
Airflow。
for end
首
users.
先，我们来介绍一下云原
First,
生资源调度。
let's look at
云原
cloud
生
native
资源
resource
调度
scheduling.
涉
Cloud
及到
native
的是
resource scheduling
MRS 和
involves
CCE
two
2个华为云
Huawei
的
cloud
服务。
services,
我
MRS
们
and
做
CCE.
云原生资源调度要解决
Cloud
的问题
native
是
resource
满足动
scheduling
态变
aims
化
to
的计算
meet
需求，
dynamic computing
并且优
requirements
化我们的成
and
本。做的 2
optimize
个方面是说
costs.
MRS 的 Auto
The two
Scaling， 也就是
aspects are
MRS 的自动扩容，
MRS
以及
autoscaling
Spark
and
Native on
Spark
K8s。
native on
解决云原生
K8s.
资源调度的
The
难点是说
difficulties
按
in cloud
照
native resource
按需的
scheduling
扩容
are
和费用
on-demand
的优雅退出。
capacity scaling
其
and
中我们
graceful
做了
exit.
第2的 Auto
Here,
Scaling，
we
这
do
一块
yarn
的开发人
autoscaling.
已经
We
跟
have communicated
华为
with the
云
MRS
MRS 的
team of
团队
Huawei
进行了沟
Cloud
通，未
about the
来我们
development
会
of
在
this part.
MRS 的服
In
务中
future,
集成。
this part
以
may be
及我们解决
integrated
了
into
Spark Native on
MRS
K8s 的
services.
各种的问
We have
题，
solved
以
various
及
problems
开发
of
了
Spark Native
多
on
级别调度，
K8s
来
and
满足不
developed
同的
multi-cluster
服务
scheduling
可用性
to
保
meet
障和
personalized
生产
requirements
的
of
耗和
different
大
services,
数据的个性
availability
化支撑。
assurance, and
最终我们
production
达
of
成的
big
效果
data.
是说，
In the end, we
满足
met
了快速
the
变化的业务需
rapidly.
求。好，第2个层面是说我们的数据
The
库
second
架
layer
构基
indicates
于
that
的
the
是
data lake
华为云的
architecture is
OBS
based
的
on
服务。
the
首先
OBS
我们来
service of
说，
Huawei
数据
Cloud.
库相对于
First,
传统的
the advantages
HDFS
of the
优势
data
是说
lake
是有更好的
compared
弹性，
to
以及
the
更低
traditional
的成本和更稳
HDFS
定的
are better
服务保障。
elasticity,
当
low
然，
cost,
在
and more stable
有这么多好处的同
service
时，也会有一些
assurance.
挑战，比如
Of
说
course, there will be some
数据
challenges
库
in addition to so many
在
benefits. For
人类
example,
上
the data
是
lake
会有一
has
些性
some
能的问题，
performance
以
problems
及因
in
为
the
没
rename
有
operation. In
locality 的计
addition,
算，需
because
要
there is
变
no
成一个网络
locality
的形式，所
calculation,
以在性能方
the
面
network
也
requests
需
need
要
to
有一
be
些
converted.
提升的
Therefore,
策略。
the performance
第
needs
3
to
个是
be
说，
improved. The
基
third one
于
is we
传统
have
的 HDFS， 我
a
们是有
complete data
很
security
完整
system
的
based
数据
on the
安全体
traditional
系，但
HDFS.
在
However,
跟
when it comes
OBS 的
to
结合方面，我们
OBS,
需要做一些
we need to provide
多租户来满
multi-tenant
足我们的整个的
policies
数据安
to
全的
meet
策略。
the overall
最后我
data
们来提
security
一下我们现在
requirements.
做的数据库
Finally,
2.0 的 table
let's
format，
talk about
是基于
the table format of
Netflix
Data
的
Lake
Iceberg 做，
2.0,
也是来
which
提
is
升
based on
我
Iceberg
们
of
在数据库
Netflix.
上的
It is also
数据
used to
安全
improve
以
data
及
security and
性能。
performance on the Data Lake. There are two
因为
types
我
of
们有刚刚的2种
capabilities.
能力，第一个是云原生资
The
源调
first
度
is
的
the
基
cloud
础能
native
力，
resource
所以我们
scheduling
要为
capability
用户
and
透明
data
地
lake
提供这些能力的时
capability.
候，就需
To
要有一个
provide
服
these
务，那这
capabilities
就
for
涉及到我们的
users
大数据的 service 的
transparently,
服
we
务。
need a service
在这个
which
服务上，
involves
主要
the big
是
data service.
出发
The
点是
purpose
为
of
了
this
满足
service
我
is
们
to
全球
manage
多在实践上，
clusters.
我们是
In
借
practice,
鉴了
we
Netflix
also
的基于。
draw on the Netflix
最后
mechanism.
感谢
Finally,
华
I'd
为
like to
整个
thank the
团队对我们
Huawei
的节目
Cloud
的参
Games for providing us with global and stable fundamental
谢谢，
services.
非常
Thank
感
you.
谢于总您的分享，请您稍
Thank
作
you
休
very
息。
much for your sharing. Please take a rest.
相信 Sherrit 在出海方面的成功经
I
验也带给
believe
我们很多的
Sherritt's
启发。
successful
说
experience
到
in
出
going
海，
global
网易
has
不明
also
工作室
given
的
us
作
a lot
品
of
战役可以说是一个非常
inspiration.
棒的
When
例
it
子。
comes to going global, the
同样在
NetEase
华为
Booming
云的
Game
技术合作
Studio
之下，
is
网
a
易不明
great
工作
example.
室推出的
With
重
the
型
technical
PC 游
cooperation
戏
of
产
Huawei
品
Cloud
有
during the
了很多
process,
经验和收
uh,
获，
the
完美地
studio
完
has
成
made a
了
lot of
硬化
experience
的
and
改善。
gains and
那么接
completed
下
the
来我们将
localization.
会有请
Next,
到的
we'll
是
have
网易
Mr.
不明
Wang
工作
Xi,
室
CEO of
CEO 王
NetEase
希先
Booming
生为我们
Games
带来主题
Studio.
为
He will
点
share
燃
with
亚
us
太
the
的中
theme
部
of
战役，
War
网
Rage,
易
the
不明工
hottest
作
and
室
new
对
games
出
in
海
Asia
之路的
Pacific,
分享。掌
a
声有
global
请王
journey
总。
of NetEase games. Let's hear it from Mr. Wang.
谢谢主持人。
您客气。
谢谢大家，大家下午
All
好。
right, thanks. Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Wang Xi, director of Booming Game Studio, NetEase. I'm very happy to have the years ago. We had just come back from the US, and we had been wondering whether China would be able to build its own game platform. This idea was very close to our ideal of owning core technologies. We firmly believe in the talents in China. Through our efforts, we can build a world-class game platform, create a world-class game product, and can build the reputation of the Chinese game brand. This dream has supported us in developing from a small team to a team with nearly 100 people today. Luckily, we have built a complete technical engine, that is, a technical platform, through our efforts in the past 7 years. In this platform, we have combined the powerful, stable, and complex network service capabilities of China's online games. In addition, we have created the War Rage game based on a technical platform that combines Chinese and Western strengths. That is a very high-quality 3D war game. It has a very strong sense of immersion. It creates a great ancient war world. It fulfills many players' dream of becoming a general. And we are very lucky to have NetEase as our distributor, and we have made quite huge success in the China market. Is success in China market enough? Actually, our team has been thinking about this question. Now I'm going to show you our game first. You can see that this product has a lot of details. First, you can see a big world. Then you can see thousands of generals and armies performing complex operations together in the war scene. There are a large number of network physical simulations. Its design and experience are very sophisticated, so it's a very complex system, and it shows the strength of the Chinese R&D team. As I mentioned just now, we have been thinking about whether we have an opportunity for globalization. There is an interesting opportunity in 2017 when we took our first generation of product to the US GDC, and when I showed our game to the foreign peers, they told me that they liked it. They thought that there was a huge opportunity for this product in the global market. However, all the products that we produced at the time were Chinese-style products. We chose our Chinese warriors, Chinese scenes, and Chinese arms. We're thinking about whether it was worthwhile to really transform the product visually so that the game could be truly oriented to the global market and accepted by global players.
We are proud to tell everyone that we have made a bold decision. Within 2 years, we have overhauled the content. The game can be accepted by players around the world. After 2 years of effort, we have truly gone global. We released a global test in 2018 and released our commercial version in 2019. And this is a very big release for us in the PC industry. What's the purpose of globalization? Game market is very popular today. What's China's company's strength in the game market? Mobile game, which is very popular today. But if you look at the global market share, you will find an interesting figure, a big profitability. But there is few Chinese game companies working in this market. That's why Booming Games have made up our mind to go global. In order to do this, we reformed our product, not just to change the content. We have changed our UI. We try to understand European culture. We have generated lots of local contents of Europe. So you can see Japanese samurai, Polish hussars, and the crusaders in our game. In that way, we try to learn from global partners and to understand different cultures. People tend to think that globalization is about making the product UI looking global or European. But if you really take this product to the global market, you find that things are more complicated. Globalization is about constantly learning, making mistakes, and thinking. Because in different countries and regions, you need to understand completely different cultures and different user preferences. And also, you need to comply with different laws and regulations. As a game company, you learn much more than you can imagine during this process. The other big obstacle for going global is language. We used to think that speaking English is enough, but when we go global, we find that most foreigners, just like us, do not speak very good English. So we took a lot of time to translate game into different languages. Now we support 11 countries. In the release in April, we have added Korean, Japanese, Vietnamese, Thai, and Spanish. But that's still not enough because there are lots of people not covered. Now we are soon adding Portuguese, which will cover about 400 to 500 million population. Arabic, also about 400, to really put across the message and to connect with local cultures and to touch the local users. This is a big management and a collaboration issue. We find that whenever we need to release an announcement, we need to translate that into 11 languages. And managing and coordinating 11 language translation is a big challenge itself. And in this game that we developed with a mixture of culture and the languages, you find there's a big problem with communication because we spend a lot of time to solve the communication problem. We developed instant chat translation so that gamers can have automatic translation. But even that is not enough because that's not enough to let users express themselves. In the age of globalization and internet, we feel that probably we don't need to physically go to the local market. We can market and advertise through Google and Facebook. We just look at the indicators, then we can understand the market. But our team and our practice showed that to truly understand the market and the user, you must go to that market and physically feel it. Let me give you an example. The South Korean market, which is a very important market for us in Asia Pacific. When we went there for the first time, we did not take it seriously. But when we got there, we found that we didn't know much about the local culture and the people. What is the local internet cafe culture? What about the local employment rate? What is their salary? What are their anxieties? We need to think about physical, living people who talk to you, share happiness as well as complaint. Then you will start understanding this market. And different markets have very different information communication channels. For example, in South Korea, we find the local people use their own online forum called Neighbor Coffee a lot. They go to the Rudy web to find out more about games. So you don't understand those things before you really enter the market and the people in it. That is a very interesting personal experience in the context of globalization, learned by me and my team. So we appreciate this opportunity to be able to go out and expose to different cultures so that we grow and become more mature as well as more peaceful in these different cultures. So we want to thank our Huawei Cloud colleagues because during this past year of globalization, we always enjoy the help of Huawei Cloud colleagues. Today, our servers have covered the entire Asia Pacific and Southern America. So our latest node based on the Huawei Cloud will be in Brazil, and we are soon expanding the Middle East market together with Huawei Cloud too. So we usually say that wherever Huawei Cloud cable is, there is our market. So we do very much appreciate our Huawei Cloud colleagues for building this highly stable communication path. Because our game requires users from around the world to play together and connect seamlessly. A game has a very high requirement on latency, bandwidth, and stability. So imagine we have one player in the US, some in Europe, across the entire Atlantic, but they are playing together with a very stable and a smooth experience. So we are very happy that together with Huawei colleagues, we have solved this challenge. which made it possible for us to pursue an ambitious plan we called the server versus server. So going next, our team will further research and develop on the console. PlayStation and Xbox related R&D are moving ahead very well, and I'm sure these two platforms will also be done together. I'm very happy to share with you our experience of overseas business. This is a very exciting journey. Also, we want to thank our Huawei Cloud colleagues for their support. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Mr. Wang, for your detailed and wonderful sharing. Please be seated. After listening to Share It and the NetEase Games cases, now we have a better understanding of the services and of Huawei Cloud around the world, and also we have high expectation. Next, let me invite Mr. Feng Xiyo, Vice President Huawei Cloud China region, to talk about Huawei Cloud supports the global operations of internet companies. And also, let me remind you that after his talk, we will have the second round of a prize draft. We will be giving out GT2 watch. If you want to win a watch, waste no time to fill in the questionnaire in our live broadcasting channel. So next, please invite Mr. Feng. Hello, Mr. Feng. The floor is yours. Thank you very much. Hello, everyone. I am Feng Qiyo from Huawei Cloud. I'm glad to have this opportunity to talk to you about Huawei Cloud. My topic today is Huawei Cloud supports the global operations of internet companies. First of all, I want to talk about Huawei Cloud being a global cloud. We know Huawei is a globalized company that operates in around 170 countries and regions around the world with a comprehensive globalized service organization. We maintain good communication with local governments and enterprises. Huawei Cloud has always been global since its birth. Based on Huawei's basic capabilities in 170-plus countries around the world, we keep improving Huawei Cloud's global market service capabilities. Huawei Cloud features global resources, ecosystem, security, and services. So next, I will talk about these four dimensions in detail. First, globalized resources, nodes, and a network. Huawei Cloud provides enterprises and partners with online and offline services to support enterprises' globalized operations. Huawei Cloud has our exclusive nodes in Russia, South Africa, Brazil, Argentina, Chile, Mexico, and Thailand. And this year, Huawei Cloud plans to build new network nodes in Malaysia, Indonesia, UAE, Saudi, Italy, and Turkey, so as to further improve our global network coverage and to support Chinese companies for expanding business overseas. Next, let me talk about Huawei's Asia-Pacific Huawei Cloud network quality, which is being deeply optimized. We reduced the network latency to improve customers' business experience for Hong Kong, Thailand, and Singapore. Based on Huawei Cloud Global Backbone Network, we adopted dedicated network to streamline POP nodes and to fully interface with regional mainstream ISPs and ICPs to ensure network quality, such as the Thailand AIS True, Hong Kong's PCCW, NTT, Singapore's Singtel, and Tata. On the upper layer, through the Internet Performance Probe System, we drive SDN to share public network resources and achieve public network traffic scheduling to build a high-quality network. Today, Huawei Cloud, based on our global 460,000 public network address dialing test, the testing result shows that Huawei's cloud public network quality has reached the industry's best level, and we have passed the application test for many customers, such as NetEase Games, Operation Wind Cloud Island, and the Conqueror's Blade. In Latin America region, Huawei Cloud has the most number of nodes in this region. After 3 years of effort, we have interfaced with mainstream ICPs in Latin America with over 100 PS. We have built 5 core nodes in Brazil, Mexico, Chile, Argentina. Players from different countries need to compete on the same arena. So there is a high quality on the network latency and the quality. Huawei Cloud has a globalized low latency and high quality backbone network with our global dynamic acceleration service. So the game requests can connect in Huawei in nearby and to adopt Huawei internal dedicated network to reach the game servers, which will shorten the public network path to reduce latency, jitter, and the packet loss. Compared with traditional acceleration, there is no need for extra deployment of traffic reception equipment at the IP entrance. And the IP does not need to distinguish geographies. This simplified the deployment of the network. And this service is already released in Singapore and Hong Kong. Huawei Cloud, based on our global existing network deployment and high-quality network with low network latency, we have provided a high-quality service for our customers. Moreover, in ecosystem, Huawei Cloud has both platform and ecosystem strategy. We uphold the openness, collaboration, and win-win concepts, and we focus on serving as the fertile land for partners and bring China's ecosystem to the globe, and bring the global ecosystem to China. Today, Huawei Cloud has over 6,000 consulting partners and over 1,000 technical partners. In the Huawei Cloud marketplace, there's over 3,500 products, including overseas popular enterprise applications and also top-quality China SaaS software. Huawei Cloud Market selects the best service providers and to put them on Huawei Cloud Selected Marketplace to provide enterprises with high-quality, secure, and trusted software applications. Thanks to Huawei Cloud's ecosystem, over 1 million enterprises and individual developers have benefited from it. Third, Huawei Cloud has globalized security and compliance, network security, end-to-end global cybersecurity assurance system. This is our important corporate strategy. To practice this strategy, Huawei plans to invest $2 billion in security in the 5 years in the future. In cybersecurity, Huawei Cloud follows the company's idea of cybersecurity and have passed 41 global compliance certification to provide the customers with safe and compliant cloud services, such as in 2018, Huawei Cloud acquired the PCI DSS certification, which is the world's most rigorous and the highest financial institution security certification. So all Huawei users enjoy financial level security. Huawei's investment in security and compliance is to build a solid foundation for the business security of our customers. Globalized business is not possible without globalized service. Huawei has localized exclusive service organization in over 170 countries and over 30,000 experienced IT engineers providing service to our network. In addition, Huawei Cloud has over 1,000 service partners around the world to protect and provide localized service assurance. Our service team in the world is laying a solid foundation for the best service assurance in business migration to cloud, consulting, planning, business deployment, implementation, system continuity are the reasons why our customers can trust us and use our high-quality service. This is how we help Chinese companies expand overseas. My second topic today is the HMS. In order to support Huawei Cloud and the HMS ecosystem building, Huawei Cloud has launched HMS targeted ecosystem. We will provide maximum $20,000 development testing coupon. Second, 3-month free of charge migration service. And for every $20,000 bought, we give another $20,000 coupon and free of charge Huawei Cloud technical support to help companies are also expanding overseas. In order to support them, we have provided targeted scenario-based solutions such as 5 languages. Today, it has over 1.8 billion users around the world. Huawei Cloud works with ShareIt to provide customers with high-performance infrastructure service. With excellent network and advanced data mining capability, plus the AI in recommendation service, we can distribute to users' apps according to user preferences and provide precise and massive content experience. The Huawei Cloud globalization philosophy is highly consistent with the customer's demand, especially in Asia Pacific, where Huawei Cloud and the customers deeply coordinate to provide professional on-site services and the seamless support to our customers. Our platforms also evolve. Let me give you a second example. eMobi is the first internet unicorn in Shanxi province and also the world's leading third-party independent advertiser service provider. On its platform, its data covers over 200 countries and regions around the world, and they interface with Facebook, Google, and Twitter among over 3,000 media resources to help enterprises acquire users, build brand, and monetize around the world. Their daily advertisement exposure is over 20 billion, and Huawei Cloud works with eMobi. Through our service stage container solution, we have reviewed the business system and built a Kunlun business architecture mid-table. So in the group, we can look at the enterprise business mid-table and to monitor the modules, operation, and the health status, and to make decision. This improves the group decision-making efficiency. Huawei Container and microservices bear the eMobi daily operation and data access. There are over 100 millions of such data access every day among different business modules. This is NetEasy's strategic product in 2016. This is based on Huawei Cloud's global top-quality backbone network service that connects game servers from different countries. Users, gamers, can compete for land, and they can enjoy this medieval Warcraft in a vivid way. Wang Xi, the CEO of Booming Games and the producer of the Conqueror's Blade, said, "A product is a good product when it is tested and accepted by the global market, and Huawei Cloud is our globalized strategic choice." We have seen the potential of 5G cloud game. So for Booming, we feel very safe working with such a Chinese company. As Huawei makes strategic investment in public cloud, and Huawei Cloud quickly develops, Huawei Cloud now ranks the third in market share in 2019. And our overseas market also expands rapidly. So does our global number of users and customers to support the global customers' digital transformation. Today, we officially launched the Huawei Go Cloud and Go Global program to help our global business expansion for the Chinese companies through the Huawei Cloud plus HMS ecosystem plus localized service. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Mr. Feng. Please stay. So you have just given us a comprehensive introduction of Huawei Cloud services around the world. I heard that Huawei Cloud today has prepared lots of prizes for friends online for their draft, right? So we do look forward to this round of draft. So no problem. So please be aware that after this round of presentation, we will start the second round of prize draft. So please fill in the questionnaire quickly. And Mr. Feng, I heard that Huawei Cloud works with Beluga Global. Please be seated. So hello, gentlemen. Next, let's talk about the enterprise's expansion of business overseas. First, to Mr. Wei. Based on the current coronavirus outbreak, in your view, in 2020, what's the biggest change to companies overseas expanding? There are three changes. First, more and more companies are now investing in overseas markets, such as ByteDance, NetEase Games. They are investing more time and effort in overseas market. This first point. Second, there are more and more enterprises select 2B business. Many companies that work on the 2C model now are working on a 2B model. Third, more companies will select to put more time and effort in overseas market. This first point. Second, there are more and more enterprises select 2B business. Many companies that work on the 2C model now are working on a 2B model. Third, more companies will select to cooperate with mobile phone manufacturers. So this channel of the manufacturers is also a very important change. Thank you. Next, let me ask Mr. Feng. Huawei Cloud works with Beluga Global to release the Huawei Cloud Go Global white paper for internet companies. Can you talk to us about the background and context and the key man experience, but also we invite Beluga Global and Grand VC who have a very rich experience in overseas business to draw on the strength of different parties and to share our experience. This year is very extraordinary. The coronavirus is spreading around the world, and the technology is very, very important in the fight against the pandemic. The world is in the digitalized era. Cloud, AI, and 5G are developing rapidly and will become important and changing. The information is evolving quickly. So going global is also expanding and updating. So this white paper is facing Asia Pacific, but this is the first stop, and after that we will keep updating the white paper based on the current technologies, expertise, and more partners' experience to share with us information and suggestions of expanding business overseas. 10 years ago, when 4G started to boom in the mobile internet era, a lot of China's high-tech companies went abroad and entered the world. 10 years have passed. In the 5G era, cloud, AI, and 5G technologies are merging, which will boost the Chinese internet companies to go further and develop even better. Well, thank you very much for that very good assessment, and also this helps us to understand and look forward to the white paper's implementation and improvement. Next, Mr. Wei. I can see that you have a very deep insight into this area. So during the pandemic, what companies have done very well and even achieved growth? Well, there are three types. First are the companies that provide improvement. Next, Mr. Wei. I can see that you have a very deep insight into this area. So during the pandemic, what companies have done very well and even achieved growth? Well, there are three, especially facing cities in European market, for example. Companies like that have realized big growth because pandemic has been serious in Europe. But these companies have seen increase in both their download and the revenue. The second type are the games. And the third type is overseas live streaming, such as one-to-one or one-to-many product live broadcasting. Companies like that have an increase in the revenue and the users. Thank you very much for that very global program. For internet companies, what kind of help and support will they get in expanding overseas? Well, Huawei Cloud has always enjoyed the support of our partners in its own overseas expansion. And after years of practice, we have met lots of partners and friends in this area. These friends come from around the world. There are partners that work locally. There are also our Chinese compatriots that expand business overseas together with us. And as time moves on, and as Huawei Cloud business spreads to all around the world, these friends have become our strong ecosystem alliance. So we want to introduce these friends to the Chinese companies. So based on Huawei's own practice and business, our ecosystem partners, we provide 2+4 support but under the Go Cloud, Go Global. The 2 refers to the Global One Cloud and Global One Network. The 4 refers to the 4 ecosystem guarantees, including Huawei Cloud HMS ecosystem plan, Huawei Cloud Developer Technical Ecosystem, Huawei Cloud Operator Ecosystem, and the Huawei Cloud Local Service Ecosystem. This is based on the core of Huawei Cloud security and stability. This is based on the core of Huawei Cloud security and stability. And based on these 4 ecosystems, we provide customers and partners with end-to-end services. More importantly, Huawei Cloud is not just a company, but we are a practitioner of around the world, and our device business ranks top in the world. Huawei has rep offices around the world. So the highlight of this Huawei Go Cloud Go Global program is to leverage Huawei's global advantages to its extreme and to fully streamline Huawei's resources in global operators, device, and localized capabilities to provide Chinese companies with reliable end-to-end services. We also want to pull overseas sale together. After listening to your introduction about Go Cloud and Global program, I feel very inspired and confident. Thank you very much. We also want to give full play to our capabilities and grow together. So let's work hard together. Okay, my final question to Mr. Wei. China's internet companies has been expanding overseas business for about 10 years. So can you conclude by giving those companies some suggestions? Well, I have 2 points. First of all, we must have the confidence in expanding business. Second, you need to select the direction right. You need to find your core competitiveness and to find your room in a very competitive industry and find your differentiated advantages so as you keep increasing your core competitiveness so that I believe each company will do better and better in their journey overseas. Thank you very much, Mr. Feng and Mr. Wei, for very detailed introduction. So next, let me review this message. This Huawei Cloud Go Global White Paper for Internet Companies cover overseas technical development and trend, macro environmental policies, Internet development, and segment industries including games, e-commerce, music, video, social media, and Internet finance. It focuses on the globe and with a special focus on Asia Pacific. In future, Huawei will also watch for your wonderful sharing. After listening to the fantastic sharing of this gentleman, what's next? Right, I believe you all know it very well. What's coming now is our second prize draft. The second prize is the GT2 watch. So let's see who is the lucky one to win this prize. Please scan the questionnaire. Don't go away. Fill in the questionnaire and you may be the lucky one. Now let's go into the final module of today's presentation, new ecosystem. Huawei Cloud as a pioneer and a practitioner of going global, it features stable and secure service with 4 ecosystems, provide customers and partners with end-to-end services. To realize secure and stable technical and market development, what are the important points for those companies and what resources are available to them? Next, we will have Huawei's carrier network and the device teams to talk about Huawei HMS ecosystem and the Huawei Cloud Brilliant Plan. First, we invite De Li, manager of a Huawei Developer Open Ecosystem, to talk about rethinking the seamless AI experience with global HMS ecosystem. Please welcome. Hello everyone, I am De Li from Huawei Developer Open Ecosystem. I'm very happy to talk to you about rethinking the seamless AI experience with global HMS ecosystem. Huawei provides 1 plus A plus N hardware ecosystem, based on which we provide Huawei Mobile Service, or HMS, application ecosystem, including content and service, providing high-quality content and service experience to the users. On the left-hand side is the areas of our developers and partners, ecosystem, education, information, health, and entertainment. Based on the HMS core and the SDK and API, we provide our consumers with the best quality application and the content service. When users download app, they could only download that on the Google Play or App Store. Now they can download on Huawei App Gallery. And also, the developers can develop applications based on HMS core to serve our users. We can see that the HMS ecosystem grows rapidly. Read payment capabilities and cover the globe. Our App Gallery is featuring localization and differentiation of services. In Asia Pacific, we provide the apps that people here like. We do that too in the Middle East, Africa, Europe, and Latin America with our localized apps. We also innovated in providing the Quick app. In 2019, we launched the Quick app to the whole world. It does not need installation, it is click and use, it is lightweight. So users can find the Quick app in Huawei mobile phone and lots of Huawei devices. It is very convenient to use, no need for installation and downloading. We are keep innovating. We are launching the Atomic Huawei Ability, which is a very light card service, and it can be found at all entries, such as at the AI Live. After you buy an air ticket, you can see the flight information. After buying the train ticket, you can see the train ticket information. You can also see the stock indices and also the restaurants nearby. You just need to click, without having to go into the app for interaction. All kinds of services that we provide follow the privacy requirement. We have passed GAPP, GDPR, and all kinds of laws and regulations and the security certifications. In the A+N ecosystem, we have opened our new capability to enable developers in application innovation. In the chipset, hardware, and OS, we have opened HMS Core. Our HMS app are also based on HMS Core capabilities, and the thousands and millions of developers also use HMS Core for fast development. In January 2020, we released HMS Core 4.0. Now we have opened 20 more kits. These kits have seen growing number of developers, such as our payment account, push, advertisement analysis, and a map kit, where the developer numbers are growing by several times. For example, our map site location integrated this kit to provide users capability of not making mistake of the side of the road, because based on our super GPS technology, we can locate the side of the road for the users. And also we provide machine learning kit with the AI capability. It is packaged, so users and developers just need to invoke it. Banggood is a cross-border e-commerce app that covers over 200 countries. With our machine learning kit, it can identify object with a photo, so then the users can place order to buy. We also provide WisePlay DRM kit, which is mainly for developers' copyright protection. We not only provide software level DRM protection, but also hardware and enhanced hardware level protection. This is very powerful, and it is available on all kinds of Huawei devices. There are lots of music and video type of services that have integrated the WisePlay DRM kit. Finally, we provide a full lifecycle management system to developers, App Gallery Connect. From creativity to app development to on-shelf and distribution, as well as daily operation and analysis, this provides full support. In App Gallery Connect, there's a lot of functions such as app submission, beta testing, or A/B testing. You can also have a remote configuration of your app, and also to analyze the breakout data of the app, for example. To incentivize developers to build HMS ecosystem to serve our users, there are over 10,000 innovative applications around the world that have won Shining Star Program incentives. We want more partners and developers to join Shining Star Program. Finally, we wish that we work with global developers and to build this seamless AI experience for the whole world. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, De Li, for your wonderful sharing. Thank you. Please be seated. Let me remind friends online again that after the next round of presentation in our live broadcast channel to take part in the draft. Next, let's invite Mr. Zhang Jing, Director, Carrier Business and Network Consultancy Department, Huawei Asia Pacific, to talk about launch of Brilliant Plan, Asia Pacific Internet Telco Partnership Program. So now, Mr. Zhang Jing is connecting in from Thailand. Hello everyone, welcome to the Brilliant Plan launch today. I am Zhang Jing, Director, Carrier Business and Network Consultancy Department, Huawei Asia Pacific. I'm talking to you from Bangkok, Thailand, about the launch of Brilliant Plan Asia Pacific Internet Telco Partnership Program. As 4G increases the number of users and 5G starts to develop, Internet industry is becoming more competitive in China. Lots of internet companies are expanding overseas, and Asia Pacific is of course the best choice. Asia Pacific has a very similar culture to China and over 2 billion population, most of which are young people. And this area has an LTE 4G penetration rate of over 50%, between 40 to 50%, which are all a very good foundation for internet applications. So there are a lot of partners that have already tried and have pilot in the Asia Pacific, but they have found some common problems, such as acquiring users quickly, and after acquiring users, how to improve user activity. Local, offline, promote compliance requirements of different countries. So operators are very good partners to the internet companies. First of all, operators have great networks and have great platforms and users. They have a great local reputation and a service brand. And they have lots of cooperation channels and advertisement monetization partners. So if you work with the operators, that means you are more compliant in terms of laws and regulations. It's not just a vendor of equipment relationship, but now we have a full area comprehensive cooperation with carriers. We provided very strong support to the carriers marketing department. Based on that, Huawei Cloud is expanding globally in Asia Pacific, in Hong Kong, Singapore, and Thailand. We have local cloud nodes. We have also deployed CDN in the key operators in overseas countries, which all are very good foundation for business distribution. So we are launching Brilliant Plan, which is based on Huawei's globalized advantages and is committed to building the ecosystem alliance for internet partners and their carriers to help internet companies establish cooperation with top operators and to expand business, improve user experience, and acquire users quickly. And also this alliance will help carriers to build and apply the content and ecosystem in the age of 5G. The Brilliant Plan is positioned to serving as the ecosystem alliance for internet applications with carriers. We work with a variety of internet companies such as game, live streaming, live broadcasting, short video, long video, and etc. All of which are what the carriers need in the 5G and 4G era. So in first step, we'll expand that to Asia Pacific, and we will replicate the business success in Asia Pacific to areas like Latin America. Through brilliant alliance cooperation, the parties to the alliance can meet their own goals, and everyone work together to serve the end users and achieve business success. For internet partners, with working with the global top carriers, they can gain the following benefits. First, they can be part of the package of carriers, so they can enjoy data-free service. Second, and they enjoy carriers' top network and the service to guarantee their own business experience. For carriers, they can benefit from the rich internet content to provide differentiated packages and to increase their own output through these packages, such as bringing in the popular elements in China, which is very beneficial to the local users because they can enjoy the smooth data-free service, the best experience, and the massive content. To accelerate the development of this alliance, Huawei will also invest in rich resources, including product, market, channels, and the CDN. Our objective is that in 2020, we want to develop 100 internet partners. In 2021, we want to implement phase 2. In phase 1, we will work with operators to go into their 4G subscriber package and to realize the benefit sharing among operators and OTTs. In phase 2, which starts from next year, based on the 5G and the home market, and as the operators step up the effort, we will prioritize that. In the marketing, Huawei will introduce our partners into global marketing events such as Huawei HC, HDC, and the Cloud Summits, and etc. We also have very diversified online digital marketing platforms. Huawei Cloud Live has account in Facebook, Twitter, and LinkedIn. We will develop demonstrative cases and content and expand the offline resources to cover airports, buildings, and advertisement, etc. On the Huawei platform, we'll further use our media propagation alliance to promote on a wider scale. As far as channel is concerned, on various countries' mainstream e-commerce platform and operators' web, we can demonstrate the related packages. For the offline channel, we can all put the propagation materials there. For the resources, Huawei will provide rich cloud infrastructure services such as cloud host, database, CDN, and to further analyze and optimize customer experience. In the phase 2, we will also bring in Huawei Cloud AI capability, and we will also provide joint 5G innovation capability so that we can work harder on the carrier AR and VR requirements. To accelerate the Brilliant Plan cooperation, we have designed very flexible business model. There are the following 4 types. The first, for the OTTs with big traffic and free of charge service that mainly feature live broadcast and short video applications. Their characteristics are high traffic consumption, big number of subscribers, but lower activity, because people you watch those content with their spare time. So for this type of partners, we prioritize putting them into the data-free package of carriers and to jointly promote together with the carriers so as to quickly develop the number of users. The second type is for those have a big traffic consumption but fewer number of users, mostly the membership paid partners such as QIY. Partners like that have relatively fewer users but higher activity, and because people watch those content in a non-work time, so we want to put them into high end, such as C-Trip, that have a comparatively lower traffic consumption but a higher user number. And for this type of app, there are lots of sales entries with lots of online and offline high-quality services. So for this type, we mainly adopt the membership benefit exchange with carriers, and also they can do joint advertising and marketing, such as building the carrier service. So we have designed this OTT-specific traffic package model, meaning the Huawei Cloud will do a wholesale of traffic package to the carriers, and then the Chinese companies can buy traffic from this wholesale package at a price that is, of course, lower than if they are buying as an end user. In this way, we subsidize their end users. So this is the same effect as the data-free service to the end users, and the investment is not very high. So that in this way, we can let internet companies and local carriers to be familiar with this model and build confidence. When the user number reaches a certain level, then they can join any one of the 3 previously mentioned business models. Considering the effect of the internet companies' implementation in Asia-Pacific region, we, based on different OTTs characteristics, have provided a different cooperation models, such as for countries with big populations, such as India, Indonesia, Philippines, and Bangladesh. We provide this free of charge short video-based cooperation, such as India's Airtel Bharti, for Indonesia Telkomsel, XL, and the Filipino 3 carriers, including PLDT, Globe, and Bangladeshi Robi, with whom we have very good cooperation, and they have very good market environment and influence. For the second type, internet companies that require some payment capabilities, then we will push them to Hong Kong region and to Singapore, Malaysia, Thailand, countries and regions with a more rich GDP. So we let them work with excellent partners such as PCCW, Singtel, StarHub, Maxis, and the Thailand's True and AIS are all top and heavyweight customers in the industry. The other type is there are subsidiary carriers of which are important subsidiaries of Axiata Group, and also some subsidiaries of Telenor and Ooredoo are all partners that we're working with. So we want to invite everyone to join the Brilliant Plan, join our alliance, and let's grow and develop together. Please scan this QR code. We have designed the questions and the registration information on our website to facilitate your login. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Mr. Zhang, for your wonderful sharing. Brilliant Plan is what Huawei Cloud releases in the Asia Pacific, a plan aimed at building a strong ecosystem alliance. Let us realize mutual benefit and win-win outcomes in the 5G era. Thank you again to all the speakers. Now we have come to the final big moment. We will be drafting the first prize. So if you have not filled in the questionnaire, please do that and fill in the questionnaire to take part in the draft. So let's see who is the lucky winner to win the first prize. So now, please let our staff begin the live comment prize draft. Now I believe you know whether or not you have won. If you do, please contact our staff after this activity. And also, I wish you continuously follow up Huawei Cloud because there will be more activities like that together with Beluga Global. Go Cloud, Go Global, Huawei Cloud Asia Pacific Internet Industry Summit Online. Thank you very much for watching this summit. The 2020 Huawei Go Cloud, Go Global program has started, and our Huawei Cloud team will be carrying out different activities based on different experts. If you're interested, you can follow up this official website or scan the QR code to join our WeChat group. We'll push you with the latest information and activities. And also, our June the 18th promotion activities will begin soon. Thank you again for your time and for watching. Let us see you next time.